Hello and welcome to part 3 of this tutorial series where we will be creating this Lottie animation so that you can use it in your websites. I'll show you an example. This is what it'll look like once it's here. A little shout out to the Aquastaser for this video to make this video possible. This is a client of mine, and they are selling a new way to clean your pool. So instead of using chlorine or salt, and I don't know if you know this, but when you use salt, you actually are using chlorine through electrolysis. So the salt is converted into chlorine. Sodium dichloride is like salt, right? So they break up the salt elements and create chlorine out of the salt through the process of electrolysis. So salt pools are chlorine based. Chlorine pools are obviously chlorine based. This is literally one of the only ways to get clean water. We do pair it with, they do pair it, we do pair it, they pair it with an ionizer so that it really helps. They complement each other, and as an agent that'll help combat things that's being circulated. Yeah, this is really cool stuff, really cool technology. You should totally if you have a pool, you should totally get yourself this awesome piece of equipment because it is one of the coolest things since sliced bread. With that, I'll let you with your video. All right, bye. Okay. And so now that we've got those, we're actually going to delete this middle. So we go to our hamburger, our real hamburger. Okay? Because if we leave this layer on, then these two on the top and bottom stay. And we actually don't need that. So we were using it as a guide up until now. Now that we've got everything set, we're going to go ahead and quickly save this, save our progress. Command or Control S to save or file. Save, and there we go. So that's that. We're going to delete that, and the way you delete those individual ones are you go to this, and we'll deselect everything else for now as far as viewability, and something happens, and I don't know what this is, but each group should represent one of these lines. However, we have twice as many groups as we should. So when I deselect this and then I deselect that, it's two separate groups, and I'm not exactly sure why that is. So if I do that and I see how the visibility of these makes no difference, I just get rid of it. Just completely delete it. Okay, delete it. I don't know why that happens. That's not usually a thing. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to understand more about After Effects. It's a very complicated beast. And but yes, so because we don't need these two layers either, because we don't need the top and bottoms, we'll delete those too. We really just need this one line. That's it. So now that we've got our bottom whoosh, and then I'm renaming this one to top whoosh. Okay. And I'll capitalize whoosh. All right. So now we've got that. Now we've got our first bit of animation done. So there it is. And at this frame, at 1 second, we no longer need the center. Well, here we go. So this is we're going to name this to middle line. Okay. And here are our X's. Okay, so our X's actually don't have to start animation until here. So I'm going to just click and drag and move that to this frame so that before then they don't appear. Now, obviously they can't just bloop appear, but this is where they need to end up. So we're going to go to second 2 seconds in. And I'm going to go into the contents and see how 2 lines, 2 groups makes sense. You got, 2 groups would make sense. Okay, so we're going to do this one first. Okay, and what we need to do is transform group 2. So you got 2 transforms in here. So if you open up this layer, you've got layer transforms, and then you've got, I'm sorry about my dog, my girlfriend's dog. It's so annoying. And you've got, I'm actually going to bring him in here. Well, I won't. I'm just, I'm tired of the dog. All right. So what we're going to do is group 2. So group transform specifically group 2 and then rotate. Okay, so we need a rotations here. We're going to click on it, put a keyframe here, put a keyframe at 2 seconds. Okay, that is bada bing, bada boom, 2 seconds. There we go. And then, so what needs to happen is that, so right now it just kind of appears, and instead this one, we're going to select this one, and we're going to adjust it to, and that's 45 degrees exactly. So we're just going to do 45. Boom. And so now it'll rotate at 45 degrees. Clearly, that's very not fun. That's not very fun at all, actually. So, but that's okay. We'll do some playing around with that animation, but we need to do the same thing with the second layer. Okay, so rotation, we're going to go to this frame. Okay, rotation, click new frame, and this is the opposite direction. So instead of 45, we're going to do negative. Okay. Tell them you're sorry. Okay. So 45. So now we have, and you know what I want to do? Actually, now that I'm looking at this, it's just not a lot of movement. It's 45 degrees of movement. What I would really like to see is it to extend the 45 and do not 90. 90 would be perpendicular, but what's 45 plus 90? Calculator. 45 plus 90 equals 135. So let's do 135 of movement. So that way it literally overextends. Okay. So we're going to select this. $135. Oh, that's not right. Oh, okay. So I changed this one to 90. Look at that. So now it's going to like do like a whole flip. So we're doing something different for this tutorial. Not the exact same thing that I said, because I think it'd be cool if this did a flip. Okay. Because we're going to do a flip now. And I'm going to make this one do a flip as well. So we're going to go back to, if we're doing groups, we're going to close this one. Look at this one. And transform group 2. And so just like this one, where it's negative 45, I'm going to add 90 on this one, a rotation of 90. And maybe it was negative 90. It was negative 90. Okay, so with both of them visible, what should happen is they should go whoosh. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching and learning this far into it. You're truly dedicated. You're awesome. I grew up watching YouTube videos just like this. There's just not a lot of information out there about Lottie information. There's not a lot of tutorials out there. So, I mean, I kind of had to learn it the hard way. But I did grow up watching a lot of YouTube videos, and it helped me out a lot. And when I wasn't physically able to donate to people's Patreons or buy their LUT packs or whatever, I made sure to like and subscribe, comment, and just be overall engaging, and maybe even share the videos if you really like one. It really helped them out. It really helps me out if you do that, and it's much appreciated. I read every comment, so be sure to get engaged, and don't be silent. If you stop by, definitely say hi. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, guys.